Hey trackies, welcome back to another video. Please remember to smash that subscribe button. Please remember to hit the like button as well. That's how the video gets to the YouTube algorithm. Share the video if you care. I hope you all care, so share. And yes, please sound off in the comment section below. Now trackies, Eugene again. The women's 100 meters this time around. It's gonna be hot. I haven't really seen the full lineup, but I've pripsed it online for a week plus now, so I kind of know who is in it. But this is gonna be kind of like a bland reaction, as I said, for the men's 100 meters. But yeah, this time is the women, and I think it's gonna be a bit more, spicy, or at least closer than I believe it will be for the men. Right now, my eyes. I'm sorry if it looks like they're dead. I still haven't recovered, from the national senior championships, but believe me, I am excited. In case my eyes don't tell you I'm excited, I am excited. Right? So let's jump into this lineup. Right off the bat, we have the Olympic champion from St. Lucia, Julien Alfred, in the lineup. We have Dina Asher-Smith from Great Britain. We have Tia Clayton, don't believe she will be here. Suffered an injury at the National Senior Championships. Based on how serious it seemed to me, don't expect to see her here at the Prefontaine leg. I suppose they had these athletes down to compete well before, maybe 2 months in advance of the actual meeting, right? So I don't expect to see Tia. Actually, I'm kind of hoping that they'll sit her out for the rest of the season so that she can get 100% healthy and come again for 2026. Let's see what the decision is for her club. But as I said, I don't expect her to be here, though she's in the lineup. Tina Clayton, Jamaican. I expect her to be here, and I expect her to represent the land of wood and water. I expect her to remind everybody why we liquor but talawa. Okay, I haven't gotten in the review yet. Let me calm down. Mellisa Jefferson-Wooden is also here from America. Also from America, Sha'carri Richardson and Tonisha Twerry. From Nigeria, soon to be Turkey, Favor Ofili. And then from the Ivory Coast, we have Marie-Josée Talu-Smith. Now, based on this lineup, trackies, I have to say, other than Sha'carri's little blip of her 11.47 seconds that she did in that one race that she's run so far this season, this is an amazing lineup. Like, when you look at all athletes so far being sub-11 is a barrier. Let me remind you, anybody running sub-11, this is something I've always said, is running super fast, right? And when you have all athletes in a race, sub-11, as I said, minus little Sha'carri's little blip, right? I believe that this is an amazing lineup, and I believe it's going to be much closer than the men's 100 meters and much more thrilling, because the more competition there is, as far as I'm concerned, is the more exciting a race will be. Though, as I said, I am calling for the men's 100 meters a potential world record. I do believe that the women's 100 meters is going to be special. Right now, so far this season, Mellisa Jefferson is the fastest athlete with her 10.73 seconds. Now, second fastest athlete is the Olympic champion, Julien Alfred, and she has run 10.75 seconds. Incidentally, the third fastest athlete in this lineup, best believe it, is our Jamaican, Tina Clayton, with her 10.81 seconds. Now, trackies, before I tell you who I believe is going to be, 1 to maybe 4, let me tell you my positions 5th down to 8th. And I suppose they'll be filling out, the spot for Tia. So whoever that athlete is, I'll slot them in, after the fact, right? But as things stand right now, only 8 people are in this lineup. So, as I said, as far as I'm concerned, there's no Tia, right? So, based on what I've seen so far this season, we've seen Favor Ofili, she looks like she's in for an amazing season. She's already clocked at 10.87 seconds, right? New personal best. And of course, Tonisha Twerry looking amazing so far as well, 10.85 seconds we've seen from her. Marie-Josée Talu-Smith, always, I believe an athlete that gives you a good performance, especially on the circuit. She's very experienced. So far, she's run at 10.92 seconds. And Dina Asher-Smith is there as well. So far, she's clocked a 10.93 seconds. So those are the athletes that I believe will be, filling out 5th through to 8th. Now, who do I think will be 5th? Given what I saw, Dina Asher-Smith, her last outing, that 10.93 seconds for me looks very impressive, right? And though it's not, the fastest of these 4 athletes that I've mentioned, I believe in this lineup, she can definitely pull off a, fifth place in the race. Now, moving on from fifth, I want to jump into sixth. I'm going to say taking the sixth place is Favor Ofili. Again, Nigerian, soon to be Turkey. She looks really good so far this season. I'm going to put her into sixth with Mary Jose Talu Smith. I'm going to say she is seventh and Tonisha Tueri eighth. Now, I know some of y'all are going to get at me when it comes to, putting Tonisha Tueri, given that she's clocked a 10.85 seconds so far into eighth. I am more favorable of athletes that, kind of show me those incremental improvements over a sudden drop. When I see a sudden drop trackies, especially, when I'm looking at, the certain tracks, in certain locations, I'm less likely, to be favorable of those performances over athletes that I've said have shown me kind of incremental improvements, race by race. So that's really and truly the reason why I don't have Tonisha Tueri, placed a bit higher. Let's put it this way. She'll have me sold on that 10.85 seconds if she comes out here in Eugene and replicates that performance. She'll have me sold. But until I see it replicated, she doesn't have me sold just yet on that performance. So, which is why I have the likes of a Dina Asher Smith, a Favor of Philly, Mary Jose Talu placed over her in this women's 100 meters. So, with that out of the way, let's jump into the women I believe will be in top four. Now, Sha'carri Richardson, let's start with her. Trackies, me don't know which Sha'carri Richardson me I gonna get. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know which Sha'carri Richardson I'm gonna get. Now I can either get a really fast Sha'carri Richardson that comes out and and challenges for the win, or get a Sha'carri that's back of the pack. Which Sha'carri I'm getting? As I said, I'm clueless. So far, she's ran a 10.47 seconds. Given what I saw from her in 2023, she was very, very consistent, running really fast, right? 2025, haven't really seen her competing. And I did mention the fact that, she hasn't been training, as far as I'm concerned, she wasn't really training. And it was highlighted to me as well that part of the reason why she wasn't training was because she actually did have an injury setback. So keeping all that in mind, I don't believe that Sha'carri Richardson is going to give me Sha'carri Richardson 2023 circuit running Sha'carri. No, I don't think that's the Sha'carri I'm going to get. And I believe if she wants to challenge for the win here, then that's the Sha'carri I'm going to need to see. So she's either going to be fourth in this race, or she's either going to be back of the pack. Let's see the Sha'carri that turns up. Actually, I'm even wondering if she's going to turn up. To be fair, I'm wondering if she's even going to start. But let's see. Outside of her trackies, we're left with Julien Alfred, we're left with Mellisa Jefferson Wooden, and we're left with a Tina Clayton. No, Mellisa Jefferson is the fastest athlete in the world. Though she's the fastest, Julien Alfred's 10.75 to me was given 10.6. Not gonna lie, I said it in the video, it was given 10.6. I believe she's favorite here. I believe she starts favorite. I believe she wins. She's definitely much more confident in 2025 as well. And I believe she has the goods to deliver on a win. I believe, her being Olympic champion as well, track is she wants to kind of cement the fact that I'm the absolute best in the world, right? So I believe she goes into this race as favorite, and I believe she walks away with the win. And I believe we could potentially get a world lead, in this race. As I said, maybe also we'll get 10.6s. Given the fact that this is Eugene, given the fact that the athletes have been running so well as far as I'm concerned, given the fact that, the track is super fast, I believe 10.6 is on the cards here, to be fair, right? Don't call me crazy, but I believe 10.6 is on the cards for Julien Alfred here. Now, where things get interesting, and you may want to, call me biased if you want, especially the Americans, that's okay. It is second place and third place, right? Who takes second and who takes third? No, as I said, Mellisa Jefferson is the fastest in the world, 10.73. Tina Clayton, though, right? Third fastest in this lineup, 10.81. Could very well be third fastest in the world, as a matter of fact. I haven't checked the world rankings, but could be the third fastest in the world based on this 10.81 seconds. But track is, and shout out to Albert, right? And we're going to do a video separate about it, highlighting, Tina and our thoughts on Tina. But he highlighted something to me, and I don't want to say too much because, as I said, I want to do a video on it separate. But let's just say that in Kingston, where she clocked that 10.81 seconds, based on what was revealed, she could have run 10.7. Me not ask Tina could have run 10.7. So In light of the fact that Tina could run 10-7 in that race, right? She didn't, and we're going to highlight why she didn't, as I said, later on in another video. For me, it makes her a strong challenger against Mellisa Jefferson. Wouldn't know, you may say high 10-7 and low 10-7 is two different things. Not really, especially if you're coming off a high at your national championships where you are now the it girl, where you're now the senior champion, where you're now carrying Jamaica's, Jamaica on your back, as far as I'm concerned, against the rest of the world. She is going to turn up here, ready to show the world why we are little, but we are talawa. Now, one thing about a Tina Clayton is you just have to go well fast and an hour to beat her. But don't feel as though she's going to turn up in a race and not give you her best. Tina are going to line up in another race here and give you her absolute best. And you're going to have to come with something better than that to defeat her. And I believe her best in this race is 10-7. Her best in this race is 10-7. And I believe based on the execution that she showed me in Kingston as well, her let's not say too much, but based on the execution that she gave me in Kingston track she has improved tremendously. When I compare form for form, technique for technique versus Mellisa Jefferson Wooden, I definitely think Tina can challenge her, even given the time that she's run so far this season. That's a Mellisa Jefferson Wooden, which means that, in my opinion, and the only way this doesn't happen, track is if Tina has not had enough time to rest. Coming off a high intensive championship, the National Senior Championships, if she hasn't had enough time to rest, then maybe this won't be the case. But as long as she's had enough time to rest and recalibrate for Eugene, she's coming with fire, right? And it's going to take an extinguisher to out her. Believe you me. So I'm clocking, and it's going to be controversial for some of y'all, but I'm clocking Tina for second. I'm clocking Tina for second in this race. I'm going to say Mellisa Jefferson Wooden will also be there with her for third. It's going to be close. It's going to come down to the line as far as I'm concerned, right? But they're going to be right there, fighting tooth and nail. Who takes second and who takes third will be between these two athletes. I'm going with Tina, and I'm going to say Mellisa third. Julien, as I said, is clear favorite. She wins. And as I said, Sha'carri Richardson track is up in the smokes as things stand right now. I don't know which part she there, but let's just see. I'll be able to gauge her after this race. Let me see what she gives in this race, and then I can say, where Sha'carri is. But as things stand right now, I just want to make things clear. What I think about this race has no, implications on what I think, will happen for Sha'carri Richardson by the time she gets to the World Championships, providing, as I said, she's no focused and no training and getting things ready for the World Championships. I believe she will turn up there to try to defend her title. Whether or not she'll be able to is another conversation, but I believe she will be ready because she has the time and she doesn't have to worry about qualifying, as I said, because she's the defending champion. But for this race, she's up in the smokes. I'm going to Julien. I'm going to Tia. I'm going with Mellisa Jefferson. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how this race goes. Like the video, track keys, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Did I forget to tell you all to sound off? I'm sorry. Sound off in the comment section below. I know y'all are going to come for my neck, but who cares? My back, Brad. Oh my gosh. Like the video, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.